Okay there. Hello. Well, this is good fun, isn't it? I'm very happy to be able to light the candle, make sure I'm a bit can see a bit. There, that's good. Well, hello, Virtual Stonehenge 2020. Cheers. Today is my 68th birthday, and who would have ever thought you would reach it? I first attended the Stonehenge Festival in 1976. Before that, there were Windsor festivals and stuff like that, and the free Glastonbury in 1971. Would you believe that? And who would have thought we'd ever make it to the millennium, let alone 2020? It's Star Trek stuff altogether. And here we are on our communicator, singing you a few songs. That's the plan. Sing a few songs, busking here on the main drag of the virtual 1920 free Stonehenge Festival. So here we go. Let's start off with maybe some Irish stuff, and then we'll get into some traveller songs. In the merry month of May, when from me home I started, left the cars to Milan, broken-hearted, hugged me father dear, kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer, me grief and tears to smother, off to reap the corn, leave where I was born, cut a stout blackthorn to banish scars and goblins, brand new pair of brogues, rattling all the bogs, frightening all the dogs, on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the hare and turner down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalaldera. Next night in Mullingar, arrested limbs so weary, started by daylight next morning, bright and early, took a drop of the pure to keep me heart from sinking. That's a paddy's cure when he's up and drinking. See the lassie smile up and all the while at me curious style would set your heart a bubbling choir. If I was hired, wages I required. I was almost tired of the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalaldera. In Dublin next arrived, I thought it such a pity to be so soon deprived of view of that fair city. Then I took a stroll all among the quality bundle, it was stolen in a neat locality. Something crossed me mind when I looked behind, the bundle could I find upon me stick a wobble, inquired off the road, said me Connaught brogue wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalaldera. From there I got away, me spirit never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain at me roared, said that no rum had he. Then I jumped aboard a cabin bound for Paddy. Down among the pigs fled some hearty rigs, sang some hearty jigs, the water round me bubbling when a body head wished myself was dead. Better far instead over the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalaldera. Ah, the boys of Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it. Blood began to boil, temper I was losing. Poor old Erin's oil there began abusing. Hurrah me so, says I, shillelagh I let fly. Galway boys came by and heard I was a hollering. With a loud hooray, they quickly joined your fray, quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, Wackbalaldera. Oh, I forgot to say, my name's Al Groat. Pleased to meet you. Bridgetown in the county down, one morning in last July. Down the pouring green came a sweet Colleen, smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf had to shake myself, make sure I was really there. From Bantry up to Derrick, Galway to Dublin town. There a maid I seemed like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, sure I scratched me head, gazed with a feeling rare. Says I to a passer-by who's a maid with a nut brown hair. Oh, he smiled at me and he said he, that's the jewel of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's a star of the county down. From Bantry up to Derrick, Galway to Dublin town. There a maid I seemed like the fair Colleen, but I met in the county down. At the harvest fair she'd be surely there, so I dressed in my Sunday clothes. Shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right, for a smile from a nut brown rose. No pipe or smoke, no horse or yoke, to my plough turn a rust colour brown. To the smiling bride on the own fireside sits a star of the county down. From Bantry up to Derrick, Galway to Dublin town. There a maid I seemed like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry up to Derrick, Galway to Dublin town. There a maid I seemed like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. Here's some traveller songs. On in the middle of the afternoon in a horse-drawn wagon on the old A5. A big 12-wheeler shook my bed. You can't stay here, the policeman said. You better get born in someplace else. Get along, get along, go, move, shift. Move along, get along, move along, go, move, shift. Born in a common era building site, ground was rutted by the trailer wheels. The local Christian said to me, you'll lower the price of property. You better get born in someplace else. Get along, get along, go. Move along, get along, move along, go. Move, shift. Born in a tent in a tatty field, farmer's land at harvest time. The work's all done, the farmer said, it's time that you was moving on. You better get born in someplace else. Get along, get along, go, move, shift. Move along, get along, move along, go, move, shift. Born at the back of a hawthorn hedge, frost lay heavy on the ground. The wise men came so stern and strict and brought the orders to evict. You better get born in someplace else. Get along, get along, go, move, shift. Move along, get along, move along, go, move, shift. The eastern sky was full of stars, one shone brighter than the rest. No eastern kings came bearing gifts, instead the old. You better get born in someplace else. Get along, go, move, shift. Move along, get along, go, move, shift. Wagon, tent or trailer born last month, last year, or in far off days. Born here or 1,000 miles away, there's always men nearby who'll say, get along, get along, go, move, shift. Move along, get along, move along, go, move, shift. I'm a free-born man of the travelling people. I got no fixed abode, by no man am I numbered. The hills and byways are always my ways. I never fancied being lumbered. We knew the woods and the halting places. The small birds sang as winter time was over, and we'd pack our loads and be on the road. They were good old times for a rover. There was open ground where a man could linger, stay a week or two, for time was not your master. Then away we'd jog with a horse and dog, nice and easy, no need to go faster. Now and then we'd the travellers, hear the news, swap family information. At the country fairs we'd all be there, all the people of the travelling nation. Well, it's a bit cold today and not so summery as it was, so I'm singing to you from inside my little wagon. I don't know if you can see it now. I'll give you a quick. There's the window to the outside. There's the window to the door. I don't know if that shows up. Anyway, bit of background, bit of trivia. Let's see. Travelling Nation. Yes, well, okay, let's do that one. Oh, we wander the earth from the hour of our birth, no home or habitation. Living wild as the wind in a storm when it begins, for we are the travelling nation. Rambling round meadow or town, seeking occupation. Rambling round in our hometown, for we are the travelling nation. A horse or a dog or a fire or a log are the things we understand now. A drink or a fight or a poaching in the night are the things that we demand. Rambling round meadow or town, seeking occupation. Rambling round in our hometown, for we are the travelling nation. In the fields and the hills, oh, we practice all our skills in the course of every county. For there's none like the man for living off the land by the grace of nature's bounty. Rambling round meadow or town, seeking occupation. Rambling round in our hometown, for we are the travelling nation. If we feel like moving on, the first light of dawn, we'll softly up and go, yeah. Our pots and our pans, everything we own in the wagon that we're towing. Rambling round meadow or town, seeking occupation. Rambling round in our hometown, for we are the travelling nation. There was a pretty maiden going to a ball. She saw a jolly tinker hammering tins against the wall. Isham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. He sauntered through the kitchen and he sauntered through the hall. He sauntered through the parlour of a maids and ladies all. Isham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. She then went up the stairs to make and dress the bed. In 2 steps he was after her and he knocked her on the bed. Isham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. She then went down the stairs to Bolton bar the door. In 2 steps he was after her, and he knocked her on the floor. Lisham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. She then took out a whistle and she blew it sharp and shrill. 18 of the old police came galloping on the hill. Lisham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. She then got him arrested. He got 9 months in jail. She went out behind his back, got another one out on bail. Lisham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. There was a pretty maiden going to a ball. She saw a jolly tinker hammering tins against the wall. Lisham, brave old Donnelly. Good enough, said she, there's good blood in young Donnelly. He's the boy for me. Aye, old brave Donnelly, fair play to him. Well, here's a song. It's about an old fella, like myself. He was actually called a hackler in those days because his profession was to go around the country and sell poteen. But unfortunately, making and selling poteen was made illegal by the English. So this is a song about a fella who has lost his way of life, really. And the people have lost the crack, lost the fun, the Irish people, lost the ability, apart from in secret, of course, to drink poteen. I am the Robin Hackler lad that loves the Shamrock Shore. Me name is Paddy MacDonald and me age is 84. I'm loved and well respected by me neighbours one and all. St Patrick's Day I like to stay round Levy and Grouse Hall. When I was young I danced and sung and drank strong whiskey too. There should be a shop that sold a drop of real old Mountain Dew. With poaching still on every hill the peelers had no call. On streets, sweet Strabone, I am well known round Levy and Grouse Hall. I used to roam from town to town, for hackling was me trade. Indeed, as I have thought that I an honest living made. Where'er I'd stayed in night or day, the youth would always call to have the crack with Paddy Jack, the hackler from Grouse Hall. Indeed, it's true and sad to say the times have changed of late. Coercion now is all the row with peelers at the bait. To take a glass is now, alas, the greatest crime of all. Since Balfour placed that hungry beast, the sergeant at Grouse Hall. That busy tool the castle rules, he'll wander night and day. He'll take a goat all by the throat for want of an affray. The nasty skunk, he'll swear you're drunk, though you've had none at all. There is no peace around the place since he came to Grouse Hall. 'Twas on pretence of this offence he dragged me up to jail, alone to dwell in a cold cell, me fortune to bewail. Me hoary head on that pine bed, the drums for vengeance call. He'll rue the day he dragged away the cackler from Grouse Hall. Come old and young, clear up your lung and sing this little song. Join with me and let them see you all resent the wrong. For while I live I'll always give a prayer for his downfall. And when I die I don't deny I'll haunt him from Grouse Hall. I am the Robin Hackler lad that loves the Shamrock Shore. Me name is Paddy MacDonald and me age is 84. I'm loved and well respected by me neighbours one and all. St Patrick's Day I like to stay round Levy and Grouse Hall. Old Irish drinking. A grand for the drink in Ireland. Here's another one. I tell you a story that happened to me one day as I went down to Youghal by the sea. The sun it was bright and the day it was warm. Says I, a quiet pint wouldn't do me no harm. Went in and I ordered a bottle of stout. Said the barman, I'm sorry, all the beer is sold out. Try a whiskey or paddies, 10 years in the word. Says I, I'll try cider, I've heard that it's good. Oh, never, oh, never, oh, never again. If I live to be 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up. After drinking a quart, that old Johnny jump up. After lowering a third, I went straight for the yard, where I bumped into Bruffy, the big civic guard. Come here to me, boy, don't you know I'm the law? Well, I up with me fist and I shattered his jaw. Oh, he fell to the ground with his knees doubled up. Well, it wasn't I hit him, 'twas the Johnny jump up. Ah, the next thing I met down in Youghal by the sea was a cripple on crutches, and says he to me, I'm afraid for me life I'll be hit by a car. Won't you help me across to the Rare Women's Bar? After lowering a quart of that cider so sweet, he threw down his crutches and danced down the street. Oh, never, oh, never, oh, never again, if I live to be 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up, after drinking a quart that old Johnny jump up. Went up the Lee Road a friend for to see. Ah, they call it the madhouse in Cork by the Lee. Well, when I got up there, the truth I do tell, they had the poor bugger locked up in a cell. Said the guard testing him, say these words if you can. Around the rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran. Tell them I'm not crazy, tell them I'm not mad. 'Twas only a sup, the old bottle I had. Oh, never, oh, never, oh, never again, if I live to be 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up, after drinking a quart that old Johnny jump up. Man died in the Union by the name of McNab. They washed him and laid him outside on a slab. And after O'Connor his measurements did take, his wife took him home to a bloody fine wake. Well, about 12 o'clock when the beer it was high, the corpse he sat up, and says he with a sigh, I can't get to heaven, they won't let me up, lest I bring him a quart that old Johnny jump up. Oh, never, oh, never, oh, never again, if I live to be 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up, after drinking a quart that old Johnny jump up. I'll tell you, when I was younger, I used to fall off my chair at this point, but I'm not doing it nowadays. Okay, let's think. Let's think of a song. Let's change tack a bit. This is a song about a fella. He set off to find a passage around the South Pole in a ship. And only recently, actually, I mean, you did this in the 1800s or something like that, but recently they actually found the ship in Antarctica, so it's come to more relevance again. Was homeward bound one night on the deep, swinging in my hammock I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream that I thought was true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. With 100 seamen he sailed away, the frozen ocean in the month of May, to seek a passage around the pole, where we poor seamen do sometimes go. Through cruel hardship they vainly strove. Their ships on mountains of ice were thrown. Only the Eskimo in his skin canoe was the only one that ever came through. In Baffin Bay, where the whale fishes blow, the fate of Franklin no man may know. The fate of Franklin no tongue can tell. Lord Franklin alone with his sailors does dwell. And now my body it gives me pain. For my long-lost Franklin I would cross the main. 10,000 pounds would I freely give to say on earth that my Franklin does live. Lord Franklin, that's what it was. He was called Lord Franklin. Okay, this is another one. How about this one? It's called the Bee's Wing. Bee's Wing. Richard Thompson was the first person to do it. I was 19 when I came to town. They called it the summer of love. There were burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the tows. I took a job at the steaming down on Cauldron Street. I fell in love with a laundry girl who was working next to me. Ah, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. Ah, she was a lost child, running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. Brown hair zigzagged across her face, and a look of half surprise. Like a fox caught in the headlights, she had animal in her eyes. She said, young man, oh, can't you see, I'm not the factory kind. If you don't take me out of here, I'll surely lose my mind. Ah, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. Ah, she was a lost child, running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. We busked around the market towns, picked fruit down in Kent. We were tinkering lamps and pots and knives wherever we went. I said that we should settle down, get a few acres dug, fire burning in the hearth and babbies on the rug. She said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You might be lord of half the world, but you'll not own me as well. Ah, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. Ah, she was a lost child, running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. We were camping down the Gar one time. The work was pretty good. She thought we shouldn't wait for the frost, and I thought that we should. We were drinking more in those days, and tempers reached a pitch, and like a fool I let her roam on a rambling itch. Ah, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. Ah, she was a lost child, running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. I've heard that she's been sleeping rough, back on the Derby beat, white horse in her hip pocket and a wolfhound at her feet. They say that she got married once to a man named Romney Brown, but even a gypsy caravan was too much settling down. They say her flower has faded now, hard weather and hard booze. Maybe it's just the price you pay for the chains that you refuse. Ah, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, but I miss her more than ever words could say. If I could just taste all of her wildness now, and hold her here within my arms today, well, I wouldn't want her any other way. Oh, she was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. That was a bit sad, isn't it, that one? Let's have something funny. Okay, how about this one? This song is called The Sick Note. Be a handy excuse for some people. So I asked Murphy on the building site and why he couldn't come to work today. I write this note to you to tell you of me plight, for at the time of writing I am not a pretty sight. Me body is all black and blue, me face a deathly grey, and I write this note to tell you why Murphy's not at work today. Whilst working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear. To throw them down from such a height was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased, he is an awkward sod. He said I'd have to cart them down the ladders in me hod. Now shifting all these bricks by hand, it was so very slow. So I hoisted up a barrel and secured a rope below. But in me haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks was heavier than me. And so when I untied the rope, the barrel fell like lead, and clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, till to my dismay I found halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. Now the barrel broke me shoulder, as to the ground it sped, and when I reached the top, I bashed the pulley with me head. I clung on tightly, numb with shock from this almighty blow, and the barrel spilled out half the bricks, some 14 floors below. Now when these bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel and so started down once more, still clinging tightly to the rope, me body racked with pain. And halfway down I met the bloody barrel once again. Now the force of this collision, halfway down the office block, caused multiple abrasions and a nasty state of shock. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I fell towards the ground, and I landed on the broken bricks the barrel had scattered round. As I lay there moaning on the ground, I thought I'd passed the worst, but the barrel hit the pulley wheel and then the bottom burst. A shower of bricks rained down on me, I hadn't got a hope. As I lay there bleeding on the ground, I let go the bloody rope. Now the barrel being heavier, it started down once more, and landed right across me as I lay upon the floor. It broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say that I hope you'll understand why Murphy's not at work today. Poor Murphy. This is Guinness I haven't got yet. Real Guinness out of a can. Fair play. You get the best Guinness in Ireland, really. It's the water. When they bring Guinness to England, they concentrate it, and then they use English water, so it's not the same stuff at all. Here's a song. I'm quite new to this song, really. It's a good old song. My name is Bold Doherty from the North Country, where there's a still upon every strem. Lassie, be quicker and pour me more liquor and fill me a glass that's stronger than creme. If I had your Molly both pleasant and jolly, although it's a folly to ask you at all, I'd fill up my glass with a mile to the bottom and drink to your Molly beside Donegal. Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, we meet Boulder Aldo, we meet Boulder Aldo. Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, we meet Boulder Aldo, we meet Boulder Aldo. I've a new set of clogs I brought home from the market. I crabbed an excuse to get into the town. I told me old mother the seams they were ripping, and I needed some nails for to rivet them down. She clothed me hand with a bright bit of shilling. She thought the remainder would be her own. When you go to town you can buy the full noggin, but beware to bring none of your fanciables home. Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, meet Boulder Aldo, meet Boulder Aldo. Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, meet Boulder Aldo, meet Boulder Aldo. As I was crossing me bread and a skillin', went into an alehouse for to take a dram. There were 2 tinkers dividing a saucepan, although they were arguing about a tin can. One of the men took a blow to the other one. Ah, you young rascal, I will take your life. Your saucepan's a leaking and won't hold no water, since the Bold Doherty spoke with your wife. With me, Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, with me, Boulder Aldo, with me, Boulder Aldo. Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, with me, Boulder Aldo, with me, Boulder Aldo. When I got home, the door it was bolted. I wrapped up me mother for to let me in. Be gone from this place were the words that she mentioned, for inside this house I will not let ye in. You may go away to wherever you came from. To keep you out I'm sure it's no sin. Says I, me old woman, you may keep your temper, for I can find lodging with Laura McGuinn. Boulder Aldo, Boulder Aldo, with me Boulder Aldo, with me Boulder Aldo. I wonder if I know any songs that haven't got drink in them. Not even this one. It's called Sullivan's John. It's another traveller song. Sullivan's John, to the road you've gone, far away from your native home. You've gone with a tinker's daughter down the road to Rome. Oh, Sullivan, son, sure you won't stick it long till you belly the empty and slack, as it's down the road with your mighty load and your toolbox on your back. There was Katie McGee with her wee baby all behind on her back strapped on. She had no dash plant in her hand, but a driver old donkey along, inquiring at every public house as along the road she did pass. Is there anyone here could buy me a beer? Is there somewhere to sock me ass? At an old horse fair in the County Clare, at a place they call Spansel Hill, where my brother James got a rap with the hams, poor Paddy they tried to kill. They loaded him up on an old horse and car all along the road to go. His good luck to the day he ran away, but to join with a tinker's crew. Oh, Sullivan's John, to the road you've gone, far away from your native home. You've gone with a tinker's daughter, down the road to Rome. Oh, Sullivan's son, sure you won't stick it long till you belly the empty and slack, as it's down the road with your mighty load and your toolbox on your back. Ah, at least it's not cold and windy in virtual land, is it? Virtual Stonehenge. Fair play to the lads making all those pictures and everything. Oh, we had a good crack all those years. All those years. And here we are, able to do it all again. In cyberspace, where they can't bring their armies nor their police. So let's enjoy it while we can. Let's enjoy it while we can. Let's think of a song. One night as I lay dreaming of pleasant days gone by, me mind been bent on rambling, to Ireland I did fly. I stepped on board a vision and followed with a will, till at length we came to anchor at the cross by Spansel Hill. Being on the 23rd of June, the day before the fair, when Ireland's sons and daughters in crowds assembled there, the young, the old, the brave and the bold, they came to sport and kill. Ah, there's combinations at the cross by Spansel Hill. Oh, I went to see me neighbours, to hear what they might say. The old ones were all dead and gone, the young ones turning grey. I met with Tailor Quigley, as bold as e'er be seen. I used to mend me breeches when I lived by Spansel Hill. Oh, I paid a flying visit to my first and only love. She's white as any lily and gentle as a dove, as she threw her arms around me, saying, "Oh, Johnny, I love you still." Ah, she's Finn, the farmer's daughter, the pride of Spansel Hill. Oh, I dreamt I held and kissed her, as in the days of yore. She said, Johnny, you're only joking, as many's the time before. And the cock, it crowed in the morning, it crowed both loud and shrill. I awoke in California, many miles from Spancel Hill. I've got one. One fine summer's morning, both gallant and gay, 24 ladies went out on the quay. A regiment of soldiers it did pass them by, with a drummer, and one of them soon caught his eye. Boy went to his comrade and to him did say, 24 ladies I saw yesterday. One of them ladies, she has me heart won, and if she denies me, what else you done? Well, go to this lady and tell her you mind. Tell her she's wounded your poor heart inside. Go tell her she's wounded your poor heart full sore. And if she denies you, what can she do more? So early next morning this young man arose, dressed himself up in a fine suit of clothes, with a watch in his pocket and a cane in his hand. Saluting the ladies, he walked down the strand. Oh, he walked up to her and he said, pardon me, lady, for making so free. Oh, me fine honoured lady, you have me heart won, and if you deny me, I'm surely undone. Be off, little drummer, now what do you mean? For I'm the Lord's daughter of Busk, for I'm the Lord's daughter that's on it, don't you see? Be off, little drummer, you're making too free. Well, he took off his hat and he bade her farewell, saying, I'll send me soul down to heaven or hell. Now with this long pistol which hangs by me side, I'll put an end to me own dreary life. Come back, little drummer, I won't take it ill, for I do not want to be guilty of sin, to be guilty of innocent blood for to spill. Come back, little drummer, I'm here at your will. Oh, we'll hire a car and to Bancho we'll go. There we'll be married in spite of our faults. For what can they say when it's over and done, that I fell in love with the roll of your drum? So that was lucky, wasn't it? Most folks are very hard to find, works out well. Most of them are all sad, they're very sad. Lost loves, or, all sorts of bad stuff goes down with these folk songs. It's very rare to find one that actually works out well in the end. I mean, that one nearly didn't, did it? But it actually, in the end, it was all right. I can't think of another one that's happy. Happy, happy, happy talk. Talk about things you like. That's about it, really. What else is there that's happy? Not much. Let's think. Here's a long ballad, and again, it's actually happy. It's a long ballad though. It's about a fellow called Lord Baker. Well, actually Bateman. Some people, I mean, it's written down as Bateman, but in the song it's Baker. It's 10 minutes long there, so I hope you can hang on to it. There was a lord who lived in this land, being a lord of high degree. He's put his foot down upon ship's board, and swore strange places he would go see. He's travelled east and he's travelled west, travelled north and south also, until he came unto Turkey land, where he was taken and bound in prison, until his life it grew quite thin. Now Turkey, daughter, as fair a lady as the eye could see, she stole the key to her daddo's harbour, and swore Lord Baker she would set free, singing, you have houses and you have linen, all Northumber belongs to thee. What would you give to Turkey's daughter, if out of prison she'd set you free? Singing, I have houses and I have linen, all Northumber belongs to me. I would will them all to you, my darling, if out of prison you'd set me free. Him down to her daddo's harbour, and filled for him the ship of Fen, and every toast that she did drink round him. I wish, Lord Baker, that you were mine. They made a vow for 7 years, and 7 more for to keep it strong. If you don't wed with no other woman, I'll surely wed with no other man. Now 7 years were past and over, and 7 more were rolling on. She's bundled up all her golden clothing, Lord Baker she would go find. She's travelled east and she's travelled west, until she came to the palace of Fen. Who's that, who's that? Cried the bold young porter, who knocks so gently, yet can't get in. Is this Lord Baker's palace? Replied the lady, or is his lordship himself within? This is Lord Baker's palace, replied the porter. This very day took a new bride in. Well, ask him to cut of his wedding cake, a glass of his wine would be ne'er so strong, and to remember a brave young lady who did release him in Turkey land. In goes, in goes, in goes the porter, kneels down gently on his right knee. Rise up, now me bold young porter, what news have you brought for me? singing, I have news of a grand arrival, as fair a lady as the eye could see. She is at the gate waiting for your charity. She wears a gold ring on every finger. On her middle one she wears but three. She has more gold hung around her middle than at by Northumber and family. She asks you to send her a cut of your wedding cake, glass of your wine that be ne'er so strong, and to remember a brave young lady who did release you in Turkey land. Down comes the new bride's mother. What will I do with my daughter dear? Your daughter came with one bag of gold. I'll divert her home now with 33. He's took his sword all by the handle, cut the wedding cake in pieces 3, singing, here's a piece for the new bride's mother, here's a piece for my true love, and one for me. And then Lord Baker ran to his darling. Of 21 steps he's made but 3. He's put his arms around Turkey's daughter and kissed his true love most tenderly. A happy ending. Unlike the next song. How pleasant in winter to sit by the hob, listening to the birds and the howls of the dog, and in summer to wander the wild valleys through, and to pluck the wild flowers in the May morning dew. Oh, summer is coming, oh, summer is here, with the leaves on the trees and the sky blue and clear, and the birds they are singing their fond notes so true, and the flowers they are springing through the May morning dew. The house I was reared in is but a stone on a stone, and all round the garden the weeds they have grown, and of all the kind neighbours that ever I once knew, like the red rose they've withered in the May morning dew. God be with the old folks who are now dead and gone, and likewise my brothers, young Dennis and John, as they trip through the heather, the wild hare to pursue, and their joys they are mingled with the May morning dew. Do you see? That brings me on to the foggy tree. It's a good old Irish song. I went through some troubles in Ireland, you know, for a long time, 500 years. Was down the glen one Easter morn to a city fair rode I. There were armed lines of marching men in squadrons pass me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound its dread tattoo. But the Angelus bell or the Liffey swell rang out through the foggy dew. Right proudly high over Dublin town hung they out the flag of war. 'Twas better to die 'neath an Irish sky than at Southwell or Saville's bar. And from the plains of Royal Meath strong men came hurrying through, while Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns sailed in through the foggy dew. And the bravest fell, and the requiem bell rang mournfully and clear for those who died that Easter tide in the springing of the year. And the world did gaze with deep amaze as those fearless men but true, who bore the fight that freedom's light could shine out through the foggy dew. Okay. I'm running a little out of energy now. I've got one more I can think of to sing. The Morlock Shore. Can't remember the first word of it. Oh, let's think of it. No, lost that one. Think of another. No, maybe I've run out of more. Oh, I know. Once upon a time there was Irish ways and Irish laws, villages of Irish blood, waking to the morning, waking to the morning. Then the Vikings came around, turned us up and turned us down, started building boats and towns. They tried to change our living, tried to change our living. Cromwell and his soldiers came, started centuries of shame, but they could not make us turn. A river flowing, we're a river flowing. Again, again the soldiers came, burned our houses, stole our grain, shot the farmers in their fields, just working for a living, working for a living. Today the struggle carries on. I wonder will I live so long to see the gates be opened wide to a people and their freedom, a people and their freedom. Once upon a time there was Irish ways and Irish laws, villages of Irish blood, waking to the morning, waking to the morning. Well, thank you, Stonehenge. Virtual Stonehenge. Well, I want to do some more busking tomorrow. Pull out a few more songs. Doesn't matter what the weather's like, does it? We're all here. If it's nice, actually, I live in a nice place with all sorts of weird things like stone circles and pirate ships. So if the weather's good, I can do some busking at one of those crazy sites. But thanks very much for listening. Have a good day. Enjoy your time.